I never thought I'd be in this situation. I was in Bali, living my best life, soaking in the sun, and just enjoying everything the world had to offer. I had this sense of freedom, That feeling where everything just feels possible, like the world is yours for the taking. But then, in one unplanned, unfortunate moment, it all came crashing down. I remember it like it was yesterday. One minute I was walking along the beach, feeling the sand between my toes, and the next thing I knew, I was on the ground. I had tripped over something hidden in the sand and twisted my ankle so badly I could barely stand. I thought it was just a sprain at first, but as the hours passed and the swelling didn't go down, I knew something was wrong. I had to go to the hospital, and that's where the nightmare really began. The emergency room bill came out of nowhere. I didn't even know where to start. I was a traveler, not someone who had plans to deal with a medical emergency overseas. I kept thinking I've got insurance. I've got to be fine, right? But when I called my usual insurance company, I was hit with a cold, harsh reality. They told me that because I was abroad, I had to pay up front for everything, and then they might reimburse me later. Might. My heart sank. I didn't have the money to pay for everything up front. The hospital bills were piling up, the doctor's fees, the painkillers, the tests, and the x-rays. It was overwhelming. I was so stressed. I thought about canceling the trip, heading back home, and dealing with everything from there. But I couldn't do that. Not only was I stuck in another country, but the idea of facing all those bills alone made my anxiety skyrocket. And then, out of nowhere, I remembered a conversation I had with a friend before I left. She told me about this little-known insurance company called Insure. At the time, I thought, okay, sounds like one of those other generic insurance plans, and didn't think twice. But here I was, desperate, scrolling through my phone for a lifeline. I decided to look them up. To my surprise, their claims process was so much easier than anything I had dealt with before. I didn't have to pay anything upfront. They worked directly with the hospital, covering a large portion of the medical expenses. I was in disbelief. It wasn't just the money that saved me, it was the peace of mind that came with knowing I wasn't alone in this. I remember feeling so relieved when I realized I didn't have to drain my savings, or worse, put myself into debt just to get through a simple accident. I felt like I could breathe again. This wasn't some big corporate brand that just wanted to sell me a policy. This was a real service that genuinely helped me in my most stressful moment. I'll never forget the feeling of being able to walk out of the hospital, knowing I didn't have to drown in bills, just because I had taken a moment to find the right coverage. So, if you're planning any kind of trip, whether it's a weekend getaway or a month-long adventure, trust me on this one. Take a minute and look into Insure. I don't even consider it just travel insurance anymore. It's more like a safety net for the unexpected things that can really throw you off course. Because honestly, life can throw curveballs when you least expect it. And it's nice to know that someone's got your back when you need it the most. I'll drop the link in the description if you want to check it out. Trust me, it's not just a recommendation. It's something I personally rely on. Don't wait until you're in the middle of a medical emergency abroad. Learn from my experience and be prepared for the unexpected. It could save you a lot more than just money.